If you are new here, please like the video and subscribe. Statistics show that only 15% of my audience is subscribed to the channel. So if this content has helped you in any way, I ask you to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Now, let's go back to the topic. Listen closely, gentlemen. What if I told you that the most powerful way to command respect from a modern woman isn't with your words, but with your silence? That's right. One simple move, done right, can dismantle her attitude, flip the script, and leave her questioning everything. Stick around, because what you're about to learn will change the way you handle her forever. Section 1. Why modern women feed off drama. Let's start with a harsh truth. Drama is like a drug for modern women. It's not that every woman is intentionally creating chaos, but the environment we live in thrives on drama. Social media platforms are designed to amplify it. Think about the algorithms. They reward conflict, outrage, and attention-seeking behavior. Women today are constantly exposed to this feedback loop, where drama is celebrated and rewarded. Every like, comment, and DM fuels the need for constant engagement. Now let's bring this into your relationship or interaction. When she's in a mood, giving you attitude or testing your patience, it's often not even about the issue itself. It's about eliciting a response. When you argue, defend yourself, or explain, you're feeding her need for attention, whether it's positive or negative. That energy, even if it's frustration, validates her behavior. Here's the kicker. Drama thrives on engagement. Without your participation, it has no legs to stand on. By choosing silence, you're not just avoiding conflict. You're cutting off the very fuel that powers her attitude. Silence sends a clear message. I won't play this game. It forces her to confront the reality that her tactics aren't working. This is where the shift begins. A woman who's used to controlling the narrative with drama will find herself unsettled when you refuse to engage. It's not what she expects, and it puts her in a position where she has to reflect on her behavior instead of feeding off yours. Section 2. The psychological impact of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as passive or weak, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful psychological tools you can wield. In today's world, where instant gratification and constant stimulation dominate, silence is disruptive. It forces people to sit with their thoughts, and for many, that's deeply uncomfortable. When you respond to a woman's attitude with silence, you're leveraging this discomfort to your advantage. Let's break it down. She starts to question herself. Most of the time, people don't reflect on their actions until they're faced with silence. When you stop reacting, she's left with her own thoughts. Did she go too far? Was her attitude justified? Your silence creates a mirror, forcing her to evaluate her behavior in a way that words never could. Silence makes your words more valuable. Think about it. When someone talks constantly, their words lose impact. But when someone speaks sparingly and with purpose, people listen. The same applies here. By withholding your responses, you're increasing the weight of your words. When you finally do speak, it carries authority and significance. It shifts the power dynamic. A woman who's used to dominating with her attitude suddenly finds herself on uneven ground. She expects resistance, arguments, or emotional reactions. Silence, however, is unexpected and unsettling. It forces her to reconsider her approach, making her realize that she doesn't hold the power she thought she did. Silence is not indifference, it's control. It communicates strength, self-respect, and a refusal to be manipulated. In a world where so many men are quick to react, your silence will set you apart. Section 3. How silence destroys entitlement. Entitlement is one of the biggest challenges men face when dealing with modern women. The dating culture today often rewards women for pushing boundaries, testing limits, and expecting men to tolerate disrespect. Why? Because most men do. They bend over backward to appease, explain, or fix things, even when they're not in the wrong. But silence. Silence is a game changer. When you stop engaging with entitlement, whether it's through explaining yourself, defending your actions, or tolerating bad behavior, you take away its power. For example, imagine she's giving you the silent treatment or making passive-aggressive comments. Most men would feel the need to fix the situation, apologizing or trying to smooth things over. But when you choose to remain silent instead, you're sending a clear message: I'm not responsible for your entitlement, and I won't reward it. Here's the beauty of this approach. Silence creates accountability. Without your participation, she's left to confront the reality of her actions. If she's being unreasonable or disrespectful, your silence magnifies that truth. It forces her to sit with her behavior and question whether it's serving her. Over time, this approach dismantles entitlement because it removes the reward. If her attitude or behavior isn't validated by your response, it gradually loses its power. Silence teaches her that her actions have consequences, and she will eventually need to reconsider whether it's worth pursuing. She doesn't get the reaction she's looking for, and eventually she'll have to adjust her behavior to maintain the relationship. Silence isn't just about avoiding conflict, it's about resetting the standard for how you expect to be treated. Section 4. The role of patience in silence. This is where most men fail. Silence is not a quick fix. It's a strategy that requires patience, discipline, and consistency. You can't expect one moment of silence to transform her behavior overnight. It's about setting a precedent and maintaining it, even when it's uncomfortable. Let me give you an example. Imagine she's testing you with snide remarks or unnecessary drama. You remain silent, but after 10 minutes of awkwardness, you give in and start explaining yourself. What happens? She learns that all she has to do is wait you out, and eventually you'll fall. Patience is the key to making silence effective. You have to be willing to sit in the discomfort, knowing that the long-term outcome is worth it. This doesn't mean giving her the cold shoulder or being petty. It means standing firm in your self-respect and refusing to entertain negativity. Over time, your patience will pay off. She'll start to understand that you're not like other men who can be manipulated into reacting. She'll respect your boundaries because she knows they're non-negotiable, and that respect is the foundation for a healthier, more balanced dynamic. Section 5. Reclaiming your power through silence. At its core, silence is about reclaiming your power. In today's world, men are constantly told to communicate more, explain themselves more, and bend to the expectations of others. But the truth is, over-communication often leads to overcomplication. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. When you choose silence, you're not just avoiding conflict. You're taking a stand for your worth. You're saying, I don't need to prove myself to you. My actions speak louder than words, and my time is too valuable to waste on negativity. This mindset shift is transformative. It not only changes the way women perceive you, but also the way you perceive yourself. You start to realize that your energy is a resource, and not everyone deserves access to it. Silence doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your peace over pointless arguments. It means you're willing to walk away from anything or anyone that doesn't align with your standards. And that, gentlemen, is the ultimate power move. Section 6. How silence triggers curiosity in women. One of the most overlooked aspects of silence is its ability to create curiosity. Modern women are used to constant communication, texts, social media interactions, and immediate responses. When a man suddenly becomes silent, It disrupts this norm and forces her to wonder what's going on. Here's how this works. When you stop engaging, she's left to fill the void with her thoughts. Why isn't he responding? Did I go too far? Is he upset, or is he just over it? This uncertainty can be incredibly powerful because it shifts the focus away from you chasing her validation to her questioning her own actions. Curiosity is a potent psychological tool. It keeps her mind occupied with thoughts of you, even when you're not around. This is why silence is so effective. It's not just about withholding your words. It's about creating space for her to reflect and reevaluate. And the best part? The more curious she becomes, the more likely she is to seek you out. But this isn't about playing games. It's about showing that you're not afraid to step back and let her come to you. It's a subtle yet powerful way to shift the dynamic in your favor. Section 7. Silence as a form of leadership. Leadership isn't about dominating or controlling. It's about setting a standard and inspiring others to rise to it. Silence is one of the most effective tools for demonstrating leadership in your relationships. When you refuse to engage with negativity, you're leading by example. You're showing that you won't be dragged into petty arguments or emotional outbursts. Instead, you're maintaining your composure and staying grounded. This kind of leadership is rare and incredibly attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who exude confidence and self-control. When you respond to her attitude with silence, you're communicating that you're not easily shaken. You're showing her that you're in control of yourself, and that control is the foundation of true leadership. Over time, this approach can inspire her to match your energy. She'll start to see that drama and negativity don't get a reaction from you, and she'll adjust her behavior accordingly. This isn't about changing her. It's about maintaining your standards and letting her decide whether she wants to meet them. Section 8. The power of non-verbal communication. Silence doesn't mean you're completely disengaged. In fact, it's an incredibly powerful form of non-verbal communication. It's not just about avoiding words. It's about using your actions and energy to communicate your boundaries and your self-respect. Your body language during moments of silence. Your body language during moments of silence can be just as impactful as the words you choose not to say. For example, when she's giving you attitude, your posture, facial expressions, and eye contact can all communicate a message without you uttering a single word. If you maintain strong, confident body language, standing tall, making steady eye contact, and keeping a neutral expression, you're sending a powerful message. I am unfazed, and I won't be pulled into your games. Non-verbal communication is often more effective than verbal communication because it bypasses logic and speaks directly to the subconscious. It's harder to argue with someone who isn't speaking, but is clearly standing their ground. Here's a tip. Use your silence to observe her. Watch her body language, listen to the tone of her voice, and pay attention to what she's really saying beneath the surface. This level of awareness not only helps you stay calm, but also gives you the upper hand in the interaction. Section 9. Why silence is a test of her interest. Silence is also a powerful way to gauge her genuine interest in you. If a woman is truly invested in the relationship or interaction, she won't let your silence go unnoticed. She'll reach out, ask questions, or make an effort to reconnect. On the other hand, if she's only interested in the attention or validation you provide, your silence will reveal that too. She may become distant, indifferent, or look for that attention elsewhere. While this might sting at first, it's actually a blessing in disguise. It saves you from wasting your energy on someone who isn't genuinely invested. This doesn't mean you should use silence as a manipulative tactic. Instead, think of it as a filter. It helps you identify who's truly interested in you for who you are, not just for the attention you give. And when you find someone who values you, your silence will only strengthen the bond because it's rooted in mutual respect. Section 10. Using silence to build emotional discipline. At its core, silence is about emotional discipline. It's about choosing your battles and understanding that not every situation requires a reaction. This is especially important when dealing with modern women, where emotions can often run high. Emotional discipline means staying calm and grounded, even when things get heated. It's the ability to resist the urge to defend yourself, explain your actions, or engage in unnecessary conflict. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means channeling them in a way that serves you rather than working against you. When you practice emotional discipline through silence, you're not just handling the situation. You're growing as a person. You're training yourself to stay in control no matter what's happening around you. This kind of self-mastery is incredibly attractive, not just to women, but to everyone you interact with. Think of silence as a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Over time, you'll find that situations that used to trigger you no longer have the same effect. You'll become more confident, more composed, and more in tune with yourself. And that, gentlemen, is the ultimate goal. Silence is your superpower. Conclusion. Gentlemen, if this resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Stay strong, stay stoic, and I'll see you in the next one.